How about now? How about now? Testing audio. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a mugshot, huh? Undercover. It's funny. So I have two chat rooms running. I've got my what I like to call my home. It's got my chat room running at the site, and we've got this YouTube chat room running. At the moment, for whatever reason, right around this time during the day, once or twice, or sometimes 3 times a month, my cameras in my chat room won't come up, but they will come up through the YouTube servers. So whatever that is, I don't know. It'll only last about a half an hour. 20 minutes from now, I'll be able to pull my cameras up. But for now, we've only got the YouTube live. Tommy, you're looking to sell ES at around 42 to 44? I understand. I have analysis there. That would have been a good area to buy into on the way down, sort of, you know, adding more or something of that nature. I think we did add more down there somewhere, around 46. Oh, he can't hear any of that. Yeah. A little more explanation. I got it. I got it. This way, people like Undercover will get you. Dan Tipton, how are you, sir? No sound, just picture. Is that what Undercover's saying? No, I guess Putin can't hack YouTube, huh? Not yet, anyway. Either that or he's part owners in it and he won't hack it. Secretly, of course. Through the oligarchs. I read in the papers this weekend that YouTube is going to... oh, you guys in the chat room can't hear me. It's terrible. YouTube is going to now use their algorithms to catch phony videos that have anything to do with politics and such, or people that are just, you know, aggressively pushing things that they know would bother other people. They say that they're going to start putting an end to those if possible. Hey, camera just came up. Yeah. Alright, so turn off sounds here. No, leave sounds on here. Settings. Turn on some volume for the guys in the chat room. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. The chat room cameras are now open. Well, that was quick. We were Putinized very quickly today. Oh, I wrote turn off scrolling. That's not what I wanted to do. It's turn off sounds. That's better. Is AMD a good short for earnings? You know, it's an interesting thought. Let's go take a quick look. Let's use 14. Let's use 16. I would say yes, it's a better short than a long. It is above the 200, so you've got to be careful above the 200 ball moving average here. This is AMD. But you know what? All right, so what happens below the 200 ball moving average since May since May of last year? If you get below it, it doesn't last long, right? Pretty simple. You can see it straightforward right before your eyes. You get below it, it doesn't last long. Didn't last long here. If you got a few days and it started its way right back up. So I would think that while you are above the 200, you know, you can't be an aggressive seller. You might sell for day trading. You wouldn't be an aggressive seller. If you can get below this, which is the 200 bar moving average. At least I think. You know what I mean? At first glance, it's not like I ran OMNI analysis or anything. But at first glance, I would look at that and go, well, hey, obviously when it gets to the 200, there's something going on here. So unless it gets under, stays under, and keeps on going, it seems to bounce when it gets near it or through it. But short-term trading looks like a short to me. I wouldn't want to be long that. Not with that big old head and shoulders staring you in the face. David, I think it looks bearish in more than one way. Rika, what do you got for us, buddy? Oh, maybe if I click on it over here, I'll get a better outcome. Ah. Wow, a lot of selling above, huh? Is that what that shows us, Rick? A bunch of selling above the market? Where did I type that? Wrong room. What is this doing here? Oh, it was here for a reason. Reason to be nimble. This was still in here. But was smartly above the 50, so you gotta like that. And this line, of course, you move it over a little, get involved in today's action. What about the Dow? We're running into trouble. This is the trouble spot for the Dow. Look. So in the past, the Dow had trouble every time it gets to the red line. Right? You see that? So here, trouble takes place. Starts the line. Boom. Trouble takes place. Trouble. What now? That's what I think of the Dow. Remember, just keep this picture in mind if we rally again in the next day or two. Fed meeting today, Tuesday, Wednesday. No rate hike expected. None. But cousin, well, who is he? Is he cousin, uncle? What do we call him? We haven't named him yet, have we? Who's Powell? I don't know if I want him to be my cousin. He's a good enough guy, though. We can't give him uncle status. We'll make him cousin. We'll call him Cozy Powell. Cousin Cozy. But you see what happened here today, right? Ba-boom. 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 You see that, right? This is today. So this, if you ask me, is becoming a failure. Becoming a failure. Will I look at oil? Sure. I don't know what's going to be on here. I probably have an oil chart drawn up somewhere. This one will work. This one will work. It's in the same spot. I have nothing else to say but the same thing I've been saying for days now. Really can't do anything. You could day trade it a little bit, but you can't do anything until we get out of here. And it looks like it's heading back down again like the S&P, not up. So we're in the caution area. Same sort of setup as I've shown you in Russell and S&P and NASDAQ. They're all in the same spot. And if you haven't been paying attention, this is kind of simple. This is 101 stuff. No, no trickery here. Market drops, right? Market has a drop. Stabilizes. Goes into a quick V. Restabilizes right here. What are you supposed to do? Worry about that right there, which is what we've been doing since it got there. That's why every video has been the same. Video after video. It's getting boring, but, let's count the days, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're like 14, 15 days in this same area. So you better believe there's been 5, 7 videos of the same nature. We haven't moved. We're just stuck here. Now, ES is the same, right? There's no difference between this, ES, Russell. It's all the same. There's your ES chart. No difference here. Same look, becoming a failure. Starting to drop, getting back underneath, but you're still above the 50. Everything looks basically the same on all of our indices, including crude. So what we need to do is bide our time till we vacate this area. What color? Maybe what color would show up here? Maybe orange. Nah, that's not good. Stalker. That'll work. Yeah, I would call that a distribution area right here. Well, basically, it's what's happening. Well, let's call it. It's either a consolidation period or a distribution area, right? It's one or the other, because you can't give this a label yet until it labels itself. So, what was this? This was more distribution. Is this going to be, or is it accumulation for a higher move? Right? So, how would we know? It could be accumulation. We're going to find out soon enough. I don't want to call it that. Let it call itself, and we'll hunt down whatever way it goes afterwards. $37. You little snake in the grass, you. I was stopped out on the low tick today. Come on. That's not fair. Come on, gold. Take us home this afternoon. Oh, we don't want that. We want something different. My gold chart. There we go. Look at that gold chart, huh? It's coming out just a little bit. The 50? Yeah, we're above the 50. Oh, yeah. So today we bought soybeans down to 9.18 and a half. Not much there. No, we don't want to do that. We bought gold at 12.97 and a half. We're still in that. We're still in that. We bought Russell at 14.75 to 73, but the plan was to buy more at 14.62. The low only got to 14.63.30, so we got back out at around break even and no trade in the Russell. And then ES took us for a ride. I don't know where you guys got stopped out, but my stop was on the low today, right down here. I don't even want to say the price. I'm not saying anything about it. I got stopped out on the low tick like a baby. Like baby food I was eating. Gerber's. Here, Oscar, put the stop right here. Go ahead. So, anyway. That one cost us today. The other ones didn't. So far, we're doing all right. I'm thinking that what I'm expecting by the end of the day in gold will have made up for the mishap in S&P, and today will be a nothing day. But it's all right. It's only Monday. We were out there. We swung our bat in 4 markets. It's not like we got beat up. Just S&P stretched a little too far. So for you YouTube guys, I don't know what you're expecting, and this could get boring for you after a while, but this is constant for us. This is what I do 24 hours a day. It's not always going to be entertaining and fun, but it is what it is. This is what I do. This is what you guys do. It's what we chose for a living, right? So there are going to be times I'm going to sit here with not much to say or do with you cats, but markets are still flying. You can see my quote board is there. I'm always scanning, looking for things, stocks, futures, anything that's going to move. I didn't bother to follow up today, by the way, on our last stock pick. Did anybody else? Anybody stay in Domino's? Nope, the correct answer would be, here's the range, Oscar. Actually, I have it here, but I have to scroll down too far to see it. I don't want to change my board. I think your best bet on that is like something like Yahoo Finance. You get the high low, you get a little chart, give you everything you need. Live with Oscar. Hello. This must be a cold call. You're calling a commodities trading desk. Can we help you with something? No worries. He had a good voice. Gotta admit, I should have let him go for a few minutes. He had a good, great phone voice. Oh, you misunderstood. Rika, can you hear me? All right, so my question to you was, that link that you sent before with that picture, was that showing a whole bunch of selling at 26.39 to 40 area? That's kind of what I read when you posted that link. Did I read your chart correctly? Baggio, you haven't seen it all. Yeah, that's what I thought, a lot of sell limits. There's way more to this quote board. It just goes on forever. Just some stuff I don't fill in, some stuff I do. It depends on what I want to look at. Spreads, everything. Stocks, you name it. The quote board's interesting too because it does more. It does a lot. It's got a lot of features. If you right click, you can do almost anything you could dream of. You can edit, put a new contract there, delete it, look up a new one, get your details on the contract, everything about it, when it opens, when it closes, expiration times, you name it, margins, everything, high, low. Let's see what else I could give you here. This thing just goes on forever. You can build strategies, place orders, contingent orders. I can pull up a chart. I can trade from the chart. I mean, it just goes on forever. I could pull up an option stack. Of course, a price ladder. Contingency orders. It goes on forever. I actually helped create this for years. We spent a lot of time, even when emails were a little bit quirky, we spent a lot of time on the phones with one another getting these programs right. Above your head, that's simple stuff I'm showing you. It really is. If you had 20 minutes, I could explain it to you. It's no big deal if you sat with me. It's got these heat meters here as well, which I find... All right, so this heat meter shows us that it's been mostly buying in soybeans all day today, but it's red. It's down 3. I mean, we're long. We got long right near the lows, luckily, or on the low swing. But it shows more buying than selling. That's what I find interesting about that meter, because at the same time, wheat is down too, but wheat's been down all day today. There was way more selling in wheat than there was buying. And soybeans keeps bouncing. It's been more of a buyer than a seller all day. And you've got a bigger green bar. So the heat meters are cool, but in all honesty, it's just a bell and whistle. Who cares? It's just stuff to... we were looking for things to dazzle the crowd with back in the 90s when we were developing it. But they're all right, you know, whatever. All right, so anything striking on the board today? Crude got punched a little bit. Nothing really, I mean, not even lumber had a big move. Nothing. None of the exotics moved. Nothing has moved anywhere. Coffee, sugar, cocoa, cotton. Only palladium. Down 28 bucks today. But we kind of thought palladium was topping out 2 days ago when I showed you that chart. I told you it would build the right shoulder and then dump. It's building its right shoulder now. You're looking at silver? It's where I spent probably the first 6 years of my career, maybe 10. Well, I spent my entire career in the silver pit, but concentrated silver pit only, silver and gold, probably my first 10 years. Trading silver is an interesting endeavor. There's an old saying, one of the first things I was ever taught about silver. Oscar, when silver sticks its ugly head up, take out your lawnmower and chop it back off. It's one of the first things I was taught about silver. It never goes up, ever. Ever. It goes up a little, that's about it. In my whole life, it's never gone anywhere. All right, so I started in the 80s after silver hit $50, right? Gold went to 1,000. Silver hit 50. Well, the next time, gold went to 2,000 and silver hit 50. Silver doesn't go anywhere. Greetings, Siggy. For day trading, though, silver is one of the most expensive markets that we have listed on the board. Take it from me, there are times I've gone home holding my coolie the whole way home. I kid you not. I walk out of that silver pit and go, oh, $50 a point. You got to be kidding me in this pit. That's an expensive one to trade. Very expensive market. Let's see if we got anything drawn up on it. March silver. Wow. March of the wooden silvers. Look at that thing. Jeez. Let's go find another chart. 10. I don't use 10 for anything. We'll make a new silver chart. Maybe not 10. Let me go find a different chart. Or we can just work with one that should already have some silver on it somewhere. 14, 16 maybe. One of these should have silver on it somewhere. All right, we'll just work with this one. Doesn't matter. That is very interesting. Equally as interesting as the gold right now. Overall, as you know, silver never goes anywhere. But if you can't visualize it, I'll draw it up for you. But can you see what's right before your eyes in silver? All right. Let me do this for you. Can you not see what's right here? I mean, it's exactly like gold. I've got it all drawn up for you in gold. I just didn't bother putting it on the silver. But it's the same. Look. Look at that wonderful cup. I mean, it's almost perfect. And then you get the handle right there. Look at how on this cup, almost every time you hit the lines, it stays. Right? Here. Here. I mean, it's everywhere. Look how perfect this cup is. Gold has one too, so I'm not thinking lower in the next few months in gold. But as you can see, this really is a well-behaved cup. And then you've got your handle. I'm assuming that's your handle. But we're probably going to have to call the whole thing the handle, like that. You know what I mean? Just include everything that happened in the handle. And that silver, man, it looks just like gold. And this thing is called a cup and handle. There's your cup, there's your handle. One, I can turn it light blue so it all looks the same, but it's the same thing. And gold, no difference in gold. If watching. So, gold. I know I've got this drawn up somewhere, but I can just do it again. I mean, it's as easy as pie. G, right? G still for another day or two. So, you've got this going on. Bear flag broke. Remember we were short for that? Remember that, guys? We were short for that bear flag. I'm sorry. So, let's ixnay that because it didn't work. My bad there. Which is, of course, the handle. You see that, right? So, this is the handle. This is gold. So when you want to look at it like this, we're challenging the top of this, but when you want to get rid of that and look at the cup and handle, it's pretty smart looking. Try it around here. 10, huh? It's terrible. And we've got same sort of thing here. For now, let's just get rid of this one. We'll see what a 50 is. This has to be a 50. Let's go look at that one. So you're well above the 50. You're above the 200. There's no need for either of these at the moment. They just cloud up the picture. And that's your picture in gold. Now that is bullish overall. What, the handle isn't good? Well, you know what? What really is a handle? Could you actually find a book that can tell me, you, or anyone else in the world what qualifies a handle? You know what qualifies a handle? Something that sticks off the side that looks kind of like this. That's a handle. So it could look like that. It could look like that. It could look like this. And still, it's a handle. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how you want to draw it up. It's still the same. There is no predetermined calculation for what you would consider a handle. If you find one, the guy made something up. I kid you not. I know this for a fact. There's nothing that you can consider exactly what to call that handle. You just have to see it when it breaks and do something about it. So, as you can see, I got us long gold immediately today because gold decided to do that. Came out of the handle, and I went, whoa. That happened yesterday. I immediately got us long gold. Let's see where we end up. Just following my game plan, kids. Doesn't always work. All right. So we got to take some profits in soybeans. I wouldn't mind holding it overnight, but there's no reason to. We could look at it again tomorrow. That's interesting. It didn't show up on the wrong screen. I thought I was in trouble just now. I don't know why it would have chosen the right screen just now, but it did. Both of them. That's interesting. They worked with me. Google's really paying attention, huh? Thank you, Google, for not allowing that flash pop-up to show up on the screen I was showing YouTube. Google follows everything we do. You know that, right? They track it all. They listen to it all. They even help me when I'm rearranging my screen if I get it wrong. They're completely involved in what we do. New High soy meal. No, it's bean oil. New High bean oil. New High bean oil. Oh, nice beans. Way to get out, guys. Just on time, huh? Well, not yet. We got to get out of gold with a nice fat profit, and then we'll have eaten up the S&P mistake. Then we'll clap. Wow, it went right up to 23.5 just as he was getting out. What more could you ask for? Getting a little bit weird, Pat. A little too much information, buddy. Just teasing. You know, listen, we have to do something. I mean, this is 20, 22 hours a day, every day of our lives. We've got to do something to entertain ourselves. So you will find me, I'm always making jokes. I mean, I have to live. This is what I do. I have to live here. So what's nice about the property I'm on is I've got, if I really wanted to overcount, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7, if I don't want to count upstairs, that would make 8. I've got 8 different places where I could sit and do all of this work without having to be at this one desk. So I could go to my upstairs desk here. In the other side of the building, I've got 3 different desks, two on the second level, 1 in the living room. Then outside, I've got 2 other trading desks there. I've got my portable laptop, which I can take anywhere I want. I've got trading desks all over. So I'm not stuck here, but I basically do this for as many hours a day as I can stay awake for 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Well, I could put on Floyd, but they'll take my video down as soon as it's done. I will. It doesn't matter to me. You guys are watching now. That's all that really matters. All right, got my chat room. Everything's back to normal. Nice, Juve. So, somewhere between 3 to 5 points there, 5 here. All right, we need 3 more points in the gold. What's going on, Joe Black? So now the Dow is only down 282. It was down like 3. What was it down before? Like 340 points? 350, somewhere around there? Yeah, we were down somewhere near 350 earlier today. It's only, I thought it was 3:19. It's only 2:19. Wow, it's way early in the day still. You got plenty of time for calls. Well, actually, still have time for the S&P to whip around, huh? So if you were looking at that Dow chart before, I mean that. I'm sorry, kids, but so far, if Dow's doing any leading, that's failure. What we've seen between Friday and today, that's ugly. Failure is something we did not want to see at this caution area because, as I've mentioned in every video since we hit the caution area, if we fail here, we take out those previous lows in S&P of 2316. Those come right out if we fail up here. So it's going to get ugly fast. I hope we bull through this area and just move along. What you got for us, Hart? It's not playing for me so far. It's just spinning, but I think I see what it is. Oh, sure. So I didn't want to get myself in trouble at YouTube Live, so Heart and Soul thought he'd do it for me. Thank you, sir. Wow, it's coming through TV speakers. Must sound terrible. Oh, really? Florida Keys, huh? You know why? It's so damn flat. They didn't even have to drive the car. They had nothing to do but look forward and fall asleep for a while. They figured, let's write a song, just let the car go. I know exactly what you're talking about, Hart. So we used to count them as kids till you fell asleep. Trader Glenn, I know who that is. Is that you, Mr. Dean? Yes, I know I'm going to get a strike. I just wanted to play it because Heart and Soul had a story behind it. Now, here's what I've told, though, Trader. It's okay to play music. They'll just basically put ads on your video if you play music from the company that you took the music from. It's when you film something that belongs to another, that gets you in trouble. At least according to what I read when first time I got beat up by YouTube. I thought, let me do some studying and see where my boundary lines are. So, in fact, maybe I can find a little bit of it. Let me see if I can show it to you. Tell me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Let's go to a new spot. Tell a good pit story. Jesus, I've got so many. What stupid story do you want me to come up with? Hold on a moment. I'm thinking. I can't think of two things at once. My head's going to pop. First thing we're going to do is see if I can find... Oh, you know what? It's going to be in a letter. Content. YouTube claim. There we go. No. That's not what I wanted. Get out of there. I didn't stop my stream, did I? All right. I don't know why the page went there when it wasn't supposed to. Let's do that again. View claim details. Oh, I see. That's supposed to take me back to a video. That's not what you guys want to see from me. That's not the email I want to show you, kids. happens next? Ah, that's what I wanted to show you. Read this. Chat room. So if you read this, I believe it's okay to play music. Do you think it's okay for me to play music? The way I read through that, it's all right to play music as long as I don't try to monetize my video. Does everyone else read it that way? Chat room, you guys read it that way as well? It's okay. It's just what I thought. Because I can't do this without music. I wouldn't be able to continue YouTube Live. Thank you. Cool. Well then, music it is. And let's see my dashboard. It's got to come up here somewhere. Where is my dashboard? This is the dashboard, so remove it. All right, so that's what I thought, Rick. I won't get in trouble for playing music. They'll just put ads on my channel. Big deal. Everybody's got ads on their channels. Manowar. Manowar's a good band if you're a headbanger. I know Manowar well. So that means you must listen to Lemmy as well, huh? Trader? Orgasmatron? It's good to hear, Newcourt. You got to see the emails that come in when I start playing music. That comes in this a stack this thick. Copyright infringements. And Dio. Went to go see Motorhead live once, Trader Glenn. Mosh pit, went insane. Not my style. You had to punch people and get out of there. Use headphones. No, that would destroy the whole ambience. I like that the music bouncing off the walls and everything being loud around me. I don't want to be muted in my headphones. I can't tell if anything else is happening around me. Trading. I was taught to pay attention to every sound. I learned how to trade in the pit. You got to pay attention to everything. You know, when I drive my car, even in the winter, I drive with my window down because I have to hear everything. I guess I never really thought about that. It must be from my training, all the years of having to listen to everybody in the pit. When I have to listen to every sound when I'm driving. I got to hear everything. I want to hear cars next to me. I want to hear where trucks are. I got to hear everything. So even with loud music, my windows are always down. Got my latest Economist. I'll tell you what, they send these things every week. There's no way I can read this much material. They bury me with this magazine. I mean, I read for most of them, but they sure do bury me with info. Judging the judges. Economist is cool. It's got a really decent view of, pretty open view of the world. So it looks like Amazon's starting to take a bite out of UPS and the post office, huh? Trump pointed at Amazon. Amazon pointed right back at trucking business and at the shipping business and went, "Oh yeah, I'll take over that one too." Jeez. What will dollar do? Dollar doesn't look great right here. I mean, it doesn't look it's a great looking currency. Short term doesn't look, looks like a come off short term. Barring that, dollar's strong, dollar's king, dollar's dollar. Short term, I think dollar can continue to come off. Did I do an OMNI for Amazon? Not last night, no. Well, bonds are basically unchanged, really. They're up a tick. But they're up. Ah, you're in a gym. What do you want, a cell phone? How cool is that? See, the YouTube opens things up because you guys realize you can watch this on your cell phones, right? What's that? Oh, there you go. Live with Oscar. What's going on, girl? And? So start backing off on that. But you've been good, right? Very good. Oh boy. All right. Very cool. So, you want to try something real quick? I'm broadcasting on YouTube Live. You want to tell me if you can pull it up, see what it looks like?
Have a marker.
You can if you want.
Why is Watson inside? Did you put it in?
He walked
Oh.
in, you can let him know.
I don't know if he broke it. That's Olivia. Is that Olivia?
Yes, this is Olivia.
Okay, I'm getting her package ready to, and I'm taking it to the post.
You're getting a package soon. And yes, you just go to like youtube.com. Why do you let that door slam? youtube.com/futures analyst. Oh, there you go. You can. And if I pull a chart, you can see anything I do, right? Boom, you see that chart right there? Now you should be looking at a chart, not a quote board. Cool. Yeah, not bad. Tell me how long it takes to go back to the quote board. Okay, that's not terrible. About 8-second delay. Pretty cool. Yeah. So I'm able to do YouTube Live again, which I wanted to start 3 months ago. Well, the thing is, YouTube Live has better technology than anything that you can buy, any chat room that you can buy, any software you can write. It's not going to be as good as YouTube's because they're on top of everything. So let's bet it, baby. I'm glad you were able to see that. Oh. Yeah, but if you can't break away from the prolonged use to it, it'll get you when you get a little older. You'll regret it, you know. All right, so guys, so try to wean yourself off the Nexium and stuff like that because you know that is a worry. After like a year or two, they say osteoporosis will set in, especially in women. But that's prolonged, constant use, which you've been doing, but not for 2 years. You know, so try to start cutting it out. That's all. Hmm. Gotcha. Wow, so my lazy esophagus is probably not a good thing, huh? Anything like that hurts my stomach big time. Okay, good for you, girl. Nah, that's never my stomach though. Go, girl. Sounds like you've healed. Just keep it up. All right, so. And that you should do too. Healthy body, healthy mind. Yeah, you should be going every day. Absolutely, at least once. Very good, honey. You want to speak to mom? Hold on, babe. Oh, by the way, did the kids ask you for pictures last night so I could send to Grandpa? They didn't ask you about them? All right. If you could think of a few pictures that you can send me so I could print them, I want to put them in a calendar and send them off to Grandpa. You know, 1, 2 shots. Well, I would do one of you and certainly one of you and Wyatt. All right. So I'll see who Wyatt is. Cool. All right. If you could send them, let me know. Send them to me so I can print them out. Thanks, Doll. Bye. All right. Hey, hold on. I'll switch them on. Do we know where she is? Line 1. That was my number 1, my little honey Olivia, who's up in college. Kids come first. Sorry, Omniacs. You guys are out if you're going to compare yourselves to them. Oh, Nikki had asked me, what do I think 4 to 6 months from now? June. It makes me think June. 6 months from now makes me think June. July. I'm always out there ahead of the pack. You know that, right? All right, so looking at the board, nothing really changed this entire day. It went up a little, it went down a little, and it went back to mid area and did nothing. However, it's enough to reverse everybody's systems to sell, and that's probably going to be a nightmare tomorrow. You're located in Chicago? Well, the only thing that's going to make crypto skyrocket is the next time the dollar is in a position where countries like India say that they won't accept the US dollar as entry fee to the Taj Mahal Museum. When we get to that spot again, if you remember that was happening in 2008-9, if we get back to that spot again, cryptos will go through the roof. But until then, nobody cares. No one's going to care about crypto. Remember, crypto was born during a moment in time that we have never seen before, and the US dollar looked like it was going to possibly be replaced by a Chinese renminbi to be what we priced the world's crude in. Do you remember those days? And you had, true fact, Taj Mahal made an announcement. India said, we are no longer accepting US dollars as entrance fee to the Taj Mahal. India, of all places. Wow. Boy, did I let them have it when they said that a couple of years back. And, of course, the dollar becomes king again, and everybody eats their words, and here we are, watching the dollar be better than anybody else's currency. Generally, that's where it's been forever. As long as I've been trading, the dollar's been king. I don't know if it'll be there forever, but for now, it is what it is, kids. So the next time the dollar is in a moment of weakness like that, that's when crypto will come, because that's when crypto was born, during that moment in time. Right now we have a strong dollar and everybody turned away from crypto. It's interesting, isn't it? With that in mind, let's see where the fattest people in the world live. Woo! Yeah, you're right. Walmart. Walmart in the United States. Business and economics. Come on now. We want funnier stats than that. Industry services, payments balance, business and banks, household living, education. Oh boy, that's a bad one. I don't even want to go there. Crime and punishment. Ooh, that could be a good one. We might have to go back to that though. Space and peace, environment. The biggest emitters of carbon dioxide. Do we need to look, or is that going to be China? With India right under it. I won't even bother looking. I already know what those answers are. Health and welfare. Life expectancy, death rates, death and disease, health. Diabetes, death rates, life expectancies. Doesn't actually show weight. I wanted to see where all the fat people hang out. I'm assuming the United States. I just wanted to be sure about that. What?
He trades in his pajamas, so he's ready to go to Walmart.
You tell him, Justin. So obviously you've been to Walmart, huh, Justin? You just if you don't have an extremely fat roll that doesn't belong hanging out of your tight shirt hanging out, you don't belong in Walmart.
And you clothes.
Got to make sure there's fat hanging out somewhere.
Clothes 2 sizes too small.
And if you're not yelling at your kids, you don't belong in Walmart.
You're looking at the sausage and what you wear.
Let's go with life expectancy amongst the countries. 90. The highest life expectancy on the planet. What do you think that is?
The highest life expectancy?
Yeah, the longest livers on the planet. Where do you think they're from?
India.
Monaco. Then Hong Kong, then Macau. How was that? How was that right? How could Macau be in there? Then Japan, Switzerland, Spain, Italy, Singapore, Australia, Iceland, Andorra, France, Israel, Sweden, Canada. Where are we? The United States came in at 48. You know why, right? Because of our opioid epidemic. So many kids have overdosed that they have lowered our life expectancy in this country by 3 years. That happened in the last couple of years. How bad is that? We used to be... So if you add 3 years, that puts us at the 15 mark. Right now, we're at the 48 mark. How about that, huh? All right, females, if you want to live longer than us males, go to Bermuda, Monaco, Hong Kong, Macau, or Japan. You'll live longer than us men do. Oh, they gave him a job as manager, huh? They immediately interviewed him and gave him a job as manager. He's manager of the dress department. He wants to make sure that everybody dresses well when they come to work at Walmart. So he's going to be their example, I'm sure. All right, lowest male life expectancy on the planet. Where's that? Central African Republic. Well, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Somalia. Wow. Macau is 321 million. Is that possible? Subscribers? Telephone subscribers? Is that possible? 321.8 million telephone subscribers in Macau. Hong Kong is 240,800,000. How could those numbers be right? There's that many people on the phone in China right now? Jesus. I can't even imagine there's any room for anybody else. How could there be anyone else speaking right now? My goodness. We're not even on the damn list. We don't even rate. There's only 300 million of us. Of course we don't rate. Let's see what other great facts I can find. Largest recipients of bilateral and multilateral aid. Syria. By far beats everyone else on the planet. What's the longest river on the planet? Anybody know the longest river on the planet? Not too late, you're Googling it. Too late. It's the Nile, but that's after Googling.
I did not Google it.
Really? And of course, we all know Mount Everest is the highest mountain. Nothing new there. What's the largest desert on the planet? This one will trick you up.
Death Valley.
We're in it, baby. It's the Sahara. No, it's the Sahara in North Africa.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Sahara in North Africa?
Uh-huh. I thought it was Las Vegas for some reason. Largest lakes. Lake Superior is second. I thought it would have been first. Caspian Sea is the largest lake on the planet.
That's not a lake.
Sure is.
Caspian Sea.
Imagine that. It's a lake. Superior, Huron, Michigan are after that. But yeah, Caspian Sea is actually a lake. Boy, is this a fun fact-filled booklet. All right, back to work. What, 2641, huh? Stupid ES gaining its legs again. New high in the NASDAQ cash. Justin, it's kind of what I wanted to stay in for. I mean, if I didn't get stopped out in the S&P, I was going to stay in all day for the close. Just what I meant. First thing I said this morning is we had the downside. Now it'll spend the rest of the day crawling its way back. But when a stop gets hit, I don't get back into a market. I have rules against getting back into a market. Once a stop's been hit, I know I'm wrong. I admit I'm wrong that day. Wrong is wrong, and that's that. We don't get back in the same direction. SK Franco, if you would think if it was just earnings, you've got earnings from major mega companies. We've got employment figures. We've got housing figures. We have a Fed meeting. We have all kinds of stuff this week. The calendar is so thick this week, I'm surprised the market's not jumping around like crazy.
Hey, could I steal that?
Actually, it is, isn't it? Yes, you may.
To come with me to the post office? The
Sure.
box is kind of big. Althea, would you just help me get this box? I'll take it.
You should, 1 second. Just give me a moment. on some speaker. I'm back. You should be able to hear audio again. I think, depending upon the time, we might have to stay with the gold trend. I got you covered, Rika. Oh, it does everything. I'm gonna go back to reset on that. That's no good. Well, that sure is a wall of selling up there, huh, dude? Yeah, I see exactly what you pointed out, Rika, no doubt. There's a lot of selling up there. My goodness. Does it give you a total on how many shorts there are up there or short orders? I need a reset, that's too big. There we go. So, talk about today's technology. I'm running a live chat room with audio and a camera. I'm running a second chat room that I can type in. I'm running a third chat room for YouTube. I'm on YouTube Live, and I've got my buddy who's doing something on YouTube right now and showing me his broadcast, and I've got my real-time systems running. Talk about multitasking. My goodness. That's not everything. I've got all online broadcasting software running in the background, running this whole show, and 15 windows are open. Yeah, and it's all free. Well, not my quote system. If you call free about $2,300 a month, it's free. But everything else is, I kid you not, everything else I'm looking at is free. It's insanity. No, data feeds are expensive these days. And they did something really nice to us. They decided last year, at the end of last year, that if you were known as a professional, your rates triple. Triple. Just like that. Everybody else's rates were expensive, but not as badly as ours. So if I'm following the Chicago Board of Trade, Chicago Merc, the COMEX, the NYMEX, if I'm following all those different exchanges, the ICE, I've got to pay separate data feeds for every single exchange, but triple what you cats pay if I'm known as a professional. Love Oscar. Gotcha. I'm sure I'll find something. What day will I be around? So next Thursday, or is that? Oh, that's like Thursday coming. Okay, I'll see if I can put something together for you guys. Could you call me tomorrow? I'll speak to them tonight and see if they can put together a bag of clothes. And then call me tomorrow and we'll do a pickup. My pleasure. All right, bye. Big brothers, big sisters. They call every month. I send them bags full of stuff every month. Some of it with labels still on them. So anyway, as I was saying, yeah, they decided to triple the price that us professionals have to pay. Thank you very much, exchanges. That really helps our business. It just helps us all survive. Oh, what is going on? Yeah, well, now all the agencies speak to one another. So one agency goes, "Oh, look, Oscar's a professional," and then the exchange goes, "Oh, look, isn't that something? Oscar's a professional. Let's make sure he's paying top rate." Woohoo! It's quite the industry, isn't it? It's all about fees, kids. Fees, fees, fees. So one day when blockchain takes over and when you want to trade with me, we could just go sold at that price and you hit the button and I hit the button and we interact with one another. There'll be no need for brokers and maybe not even a central exchange. I don't know. Certainly brokers will go away first and then the exchanges, I don't know what they'll turn into. but I'm assuming eventually that's what'll happen as we grow in this business. It'll become more peer-to-peer trading, literally point to point. You two people trade and information swaps instead of us having to pay a middleman. I think that will be the middleman. The infrastructure is the middleman. You know, there's no more days of waiting 3 days for your stock certificate to show up, right? All that stuff is gone now. Why do we actually need, why is there somebody in between your trade and my trade? There's no more broker on the pit to make that happen. It's a computer. So what are we paying these brokers for? I mean, I don't understand why they exist any longer. Sorry if you guys are listening and you're brokers out there. I was one for most of my life. But the world is changing. And in my opinion, the world is changing where something like blockchain should make it where buying a house should no longer need a broker. What do you need a broker for? If you're selling a house, and of course you have to get your inspections and all that stuff done, but if you're selling a house to someone on blockchain and they've got the money to pay for it and it can't be broken, they give you the money, you give them the title, done. You don't need anybody in the middle. Well, Baggio, if you wanted to buy my stop today, you would have bought the absolute low in the S&P. You'd be a damn hero. They would hail you as the new Oscar. You think I'm a lobbyist, heart and soul? That's because I own my Bitcoin, darn it. I have to figure out some way of weaseling this thing higher. Well, that's the beauty of it. The information of the transaction that took place is public, but not necessarily the information of the two people who did the transaction. So the transaction's public, which means you know if someone's selling someone a house that doesn't make sense in price, because in that neighborhood, no houses go for that price. Why would this one? Unless it's a family arrangement. Everything's above board. You know what I mean? It's don't need to show names to still have everything above board. Well, it used to be, see what you're saying? Justin in the YouTube room says, and brokers at the start of the day separate the accounts info winning and losing accounts. They don't even hedge for the losing accounts. Well, there is this. Up until the computer age, when guys were still in the pit screaming and yelling, brokers were in charge of putting trades in whatever accounts they wanted. So if they were in a trading contest, they would go, okay, at the end of the day, put all these trades, they'd call up all the winners of their trades for the day, put them in account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, these other ones, put them in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or sprinkle them in 5 different brokers' accounts. Or so they would win trading contests, but not really have won the contest, had all their trades been in. But all the trades that they put in are the only trades that you're going to see, because that's what they traded. You don't know that they did that. And it used to be brokers can just sprinkle losing trades and winning accounts. So those accounts are up money. They don't care. You throw a few losing trades in there instead of taking the loser into your own account. And if it wins, you put that in your trading account. You know, it used to be like that. It was literally the Wild West. I'm not saying I know anybody personally who did these things, but it used to be the Wild West. And now, you can't do these things anymore because when you place an order now, magically, your account number is logged in as you put the order in. And if you call the clearing firm and say, oh, I made a mistake, could you move it? They want explanation on a lot of it. What do you mean you're moving that trade? Where are you moving it to and why? Now that is a good thing. That protects all of us. It's great rules. I think peer-to-peer, absolutely heart and soul. We should all be trading peer-to-peer. Real estate, I can't even believe there's a need for a broker anymore. Zillow will tell you what's for sale and what price it's for sale at, and if it matches the rest of the prices in the neighborhood. And your eyes will tell you when you inspect it whether or not you need whether or not you should get yourself a home inspection. If you need one, you get a home inspection, makes you feel better, you buy the house. Of course, no one buys a house without a title company. You get your title company, you make them check the house for you, and they say, go ahead, hit the button, buy the house. Done. Just closed on my house. They're getting smarter than that. Heart and Soul says, saw a company on Bloomberg that is doing 2% website real estate. They're getting smarter than that, Bloomberg. They're getting smarter than that. What you mentioned on Bloomberg, Heart and Soul, what they're getting smart at is creating sites that charge you nothing, but they charge brokers to advertise on the site. So zero commissions. Brokers pay us. Brokers pay us to advertise. That's why we can close for you for free. Mortgage companies, banks pay them to advertise. So they're getting so smart that they're making it where, well, you don't really need to pay a broker to do any of this. The brokers have advertisers that cover their bill. You just need to close on the deal. That's smart real estate. So for you real estate brokers out there, by no means am I saying that you guys are worthless and have no use. You guys are fantastic guys, gals. Without you, most new home owners, most new home buyers would never get through the process. So you're absolutely necessary, but not for all of us. There are a lot of us that know how to look at a house. We've bought and sold enough of them. I walk in the door, I walk out the door in 5 minutes. I know if I want that house. I know if it's going to need new plumbing. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to go buy the house. So for people like me and professionals who go out and buy real estate, there's no need for brokers for them. When you don't know what you're doing, the broker helps you. He takes you by the hand straight through the mortgage process, getting your appraisal, the whole 9 yards. Brokers are great at that stuff. Well, I'm not saying Zillow's perfect, but it'll give you an idea if you're in the ballpark. So anybody who's smart and is out buying and selling real estate, you know what the value of the neighborhood will be, unless you haven't done your homework, and then, well, that's on you. But today, doing homework's kind of easy. There's 3 or 4 different websites, and you take an average of the 4 of them, and that's the price of your house, basically. So here's where I can use some help. Typos are free. Live with Oscar. She's not here at the moment. How can I help you? Sure. Let me just take a message. All right, what do you got? Gotcha. So it's the water account, and I got the number. Is there an extension? Got it. I'll have her call you. Thank you. Bye. I actually know this Kelly. Somebody from the water department called. But I know who she is because I spent 22 hours all total in the building department and the water department and every other department here to get permits. Took 2 years. I know that girl Kelly, even though I didn't tell her I knew her. Appreciate it. Anyhow, 4175 S&P 2641.75. Russell's down 6. It never went anywhere today. It just hit its buy levels and bounced. Trend is only down $1 right now, $1.80. It's all good. Cotton, it's been a dog lately. I don't even have to pull it up. I can tell you it's been a dog. Cotton's a dog. Let me show you. If I remember anyway, I always look at everything. So cotton, I remember looking at. I remember it being a dog. Yeah, it's a dog. It's a dog that looks like it's about to break down, to be honest with you. Are we here? Here. You can calculate that breakdown and everything. You get to like 96, 95 and a half. figured I would just thank all of you because I was reading what you were writing. And thank you guys. Appreciate that, YouTube room. If you could spread the word, it certainly would be beneficial to all of us. I think as long as, and I keep the room down to traders, so you don't have to worry about crazies coming in, because in both rooms I've got the ability to just silence people, which I do. So anyone that pops in and wants to get too crazy about politics, or some lunatics that show up thinking that this might not be a trading room, but maybe something uglier than that, I chase them out right away. So I can certainly keep control and keep this about trading. But in my opinion, the more traders that show up here, the better off we all are. It gives us a more rounded opinion of what the street thinks, because my traders are literally from all over the world. You guys from YouTube, if you chimed in on where you're from, I'll bet there's somebody from 15 different countries right now in my YouTube chat room. And in my home where I live every day, in my chat room on my site, let's see, I've got people from Australia, Netherlands, Croatia, US, unknown origin, UK, another UK, unknown, Africa, South Africa, United States. I'm not a third of the way down the list yet. I have people from all over the world that show up in my chat rooms. So we've got Russia outside of Charlotte, Jacksonville, Arizona. We've got Chicago. Oh, you're a cash cotton trader, Amit? Oh, very cool. I used to trade in the cotton pits. The Netherlands. You're from Mars, so my Larry. I get you. I get you. Portugal. Hey, Daniel, what's up? I know who you are. It's Daniel. He's my boy. What's up, brother? How you been? Oh, to trade crypto? Amsterdam. Whoa, cool, man. From New Jersey, heart and soul. That I know, brother. Crypto? I'll tell you what exchange you should trade it at. I kid you not. I believe in this one. Mycelium. Knock on wood, they have, it's been a good organization since I met them. Let's see. It's M-Y. Let me just make sure. I'm going to read it to you verbatim, not what they're... You're moving too fast, buddy. Israel. Yeah, way to go, man. Oh, not to trade stocks? All right, so if you want to trade stocks, I just read in the paper this weekend that... I don't want to give you the wrong guy. Charles Schwab is the best, voted the best in the country, or in the world. So if you want to just take it out of the newspapers, that's Charles Schwab. I think you might have had TD Ameritrade up there as well. Merrill Lynch. Those are the ones that came up top three, if I remember correctly, from this weekend, about where to trade, where you should trade your stocks. We are from Wimbledon, huh? Way cool. And Baltimore, land of the riots. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna go silence that noise. That's not gonna happen again. Where's the volume on this stuff? Crap, I don't even know how to open. I don't even know how to start this phone. These guys got no buttons. It's insane. Alright. I've never seen a button with no phones on it before. That's an LG that's got 0 buttons on it. You have to get in the screen in order to do anything. Isn't this cool, Daniel? We're from all over the world sitting here. Crypto. In 2006, I started doing my YouTube videos. I'm with you. By accident, but it still worked out. It's not an accident. My nephew was begging me for a good 6 months. Oh, come on. I heard about this new thing called YouTube. I want to experiment with it. Please do a YouTube video with me. And I was like, what are you, crazy? I'm not getting on YouTube. What are you, no way. Get out of here. About 2 months into that, I couldn't take listening anymore. I was literally laying on my couch watching something. My hair was sticking straight up. He's yapping, come on, let's go do a YouTube video. I said, all right, grab your camera, follow me. I walked into my office, didn't even look in the mirror to see what I looked like. Turned around and went, okay, everybody, here's what's going to happen in the markets tomorrow. Follow me. Don't listen to these crazies out there. I know what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to trade tomorrow. And I did my first YouTube video in 2006. And that was the end of that. People showed up right away after that. Information that day happened to be smack on. And YouTube was new, so good 15 people followed me. 15, baby. I had a crowd. You should have seen it. It was huge. But within like 3 videos, there were about 50 and then 500. And I went, whoa, imagine this. There were people following this. That's where these YouTube videos came from. I thought it would help people. $3:30. All right, we're almost done with this crazy day. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I work my fingers to the bones to be good at what I do. I try to stay leaps and bounds ahead of everybody who's trying to catch up to me, you know, so hopefully I'll stay fresh and we can continue doing this together. Not let any of these little punks catch up to me. So, let's see. We've got an hour to go. This is absolutely a bad showing across the board. Every indices down. Every analyst can see that. Every trader's seen it today. And problem with that is tomorrow could go straight back up because that's the insanity that we've been treated to lately. You'll get a down day and a perfect setup for the next down day, and it turns around and it has a bigger up day than it was a down day the day before, and you scratch your head and go, what on earth? There's nothing that pointed to the upside today. We've been getting that ever since we're stuck in this caution area. We've been just flipping around in that caution area. So, can't really say anything more than we're probably going to end up with some kind of a weird, either neutral or bearish signal. I'm never one to argue with OMNI. It seems to catch the market turns before I see them coming, or whatever. I don't argue with OMNI no matter how that works out. So if it says sell, I will be terrified, but we'll do it. I almost hope it says continue buying tonight. The daily videos are more effective. You mean like the ones I do at night with the analysis in them? To you, Joey? I agree wholeheartedly with that. The thing is, though, I can't sit there and do that for 20 hours a day. You guys are living with me. This is Live with Oscar. We're not going to get more live than this, kids. So it can't always be about analysis. And a lot of the analysis I do, I would never do live on YouTube. You guys got to come out to an OMNI camp to learn that stuff. So you get a flavor of what's going on out there, and I give you the points in the proper direction. But as far as doing those YouTube videos like I do at night, there's only so much of that based on what should happen tomorrow that anybody can really do. I think it's boring. How boring would that be if I continued that for 5 hours, you know? So I'm not saying this isn't any more boring, but this is live, kids. I mean, this is what I do. I've invited you to hang out with me. My chat room, I've got people hanging out with me since 2006 in my live chat room on my site. But what this is, in 2006, starting 2006, they basically said, here, Oscar, here's a computer, go home. Here, guy next to Oscar, here's a computer, go home. Here, 5,000 people who supported Oscar and his friends, take this and go home. So since then, I had to figure out, well, how am I going to get a new gang of friends to hang out with all day? Because when you trade in the pit, you hang out with, you've got 60 people, 500 people around you, 60 that you hang out with every day of your life, maybe 160. And you guys kind of know each other, and you kid with each other, and there's camaraderie, and you hate each other, and you fight with each other, and you love each other too, and you talk about what boats you bought, what movies, you hang out with each other, right? So here I am, I get sent home, and I'm like, well, You mean it's just going to be me and my keyboard? That's it? This is going to get weird. I can't just sit alone. And luckily at that same time, I started doing YouTube videos, which so many people showed up at the YouTube videos, it spawned the chat room. And the moment the chat room opened, I went, oh my God, I've got my pit back. I've got my group. And that's it. Now I just hang out with you guys. And I kid you not, since 2006, I have not had a day where 80 of you minimum haven't come to hang out with me. Maybe sometimes in the summer it'll drop. That's just in my private chat room on my website. With the YouTube Live, you know, there's 70 to 100 people that show up as soon as I turn the button on, which is fantastic. So anyway, there'll still, of course, be my nightly videos. I think I have to do one tonight because instead of doing one Sunday night, is today Monday? Yes. Instead of doing one Sunday night, I went to my friend's welcome home party. His son's 21, just got back from National Guard training. He's a fully certified National Guard now. He'll be going once a month. And he threw him a party, mariachi band, the whole 9 yards. It was a blast. So instead of doing a video last night, guys, I went out and went to a party and had tacos. Oh, wait a minute, Dragon. So you sit alone? You see what I'm saying? You have to have you got to have someone to speak to, right? Otherwise, you start to lose your mind. So, yeah, man, I've been running this since 2006, and until one of us stops trading or stops liking being an analyst, I don't think I'm going to go anywhere. At the same time, if more of you would show up, it would give me more of a reason to think that working this hard is paying off. Having 80 people that we hang out with, it's way too much work for me to think, all right, that's about it. We just hang out with each other. 22-hour days and the amount of money this costs me, and 8 servers and all sorts of programmers, one from halfway around the world, one from around a few states from here. I'm flying him in, employees. I mean, the web is like huge to run this thing. So, it would help if you could bring some people around. I wouldn't mind at all if you guys share this with your other social networking. So why do I still wear the badge? So that people could figure out who I am. There's so many people on YouTube that I'm kind of saddled with it now. Wow, let me stop that phone. It's getting annoying. No, I just want to turn you off. How do I do that? So where to do that? Let's do off button. It's got to be a volume button. Come on now. How do I get to the controls? Wi-Fi, airplane, capture, settings. Best I can do is put that sucker in airplane mode, but now I can't get any more calls. Not my phone. Come on, Gold. You can do it. You can do it. Anyway, so I'm kind of saddled, from, do I trade Frankfurt, London? I used to fly there and trade. I used to trade currencies and bank-to-bank trading and gold overnight, but there's really no need for it anymore. You look at this quote board. Look at it. Look, do I need any more of a casino choice than this? Look at all these choices I have. My casino plate is full. I don't even need to trade the London stuff anymore. Uncle Jack in the evening, huh? As long as it's not Captain Jack. Billy Joel calls that heroin, I'm assuming, in his song. Captain Jack. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what it means. Last night I played on YouTube, doing my analysis. I played 3 songs in a row. One's like Hand of Doom, the other one's called Heroin, and one was called The Needle and the Damage Done. And no one picked up on that. I was getting my daily dose of heroin. It was like no one picked up on that at all. I didn't even mention it to you guys. Not one person went, Oscar, what is all of this drug music? I said, I think I could use some heroin while I do my analysis. I played 3 songs about heroin. 3 great songs from 3 great bands. Yeah, there was a theme last night, and it really worked, except for in S&P. Everything else worked out all right. I don't know how the S&P got away from me. Targeting what? Oh, last. No more. You can't use L because you got L for low, so they use T for last. Oh wow, I was watching my quote board through the YouTube that you guys are watching. And how weird, how warped is that? I got the live quote board right here. I think I got to do a little figuring here. I got to bring up some software, but not in front of you cats. So let's see what I can do about that. I'm going to turn off the background for just a moment. I just got to pull up some software. I don't want it to... Not that you guys can't see it, but it's just going to be annoying till it loads, so I don't want to put that in your view. So let's say if I say left screen, that's this. Are you guys not seeing my left screen right now? Are you just seeing a video, a picture of me, but not my board? Yes, no? No quote board, but you can see, okay, got it. That's what I was hoping for. Just give me a minute, I want to bring up a piece of software. And then I'll put the quote board back on. This takes long and it's going to flicker like 500 windows before it finally loads. It looks pretty freaky, so I'll put it back when it's done. Oh, look at that. I would have had to put ID in here and everything. Even worse. You guys would have seen my password. Why do I have to re-sign into this anyway? Ugh. That's all correct, isn't it? No, it is not. Guess the reason behind that was I've got 500 passwords to 500 different things. Sometimes I got to go through a string of them before I remember which one belongs to which program. As I'm sure this happens to all of us. back. I could do Amazon tonight. Sure, I'll keep you in mind, Ken. I'll write a note. I'll try to, if it's interesting. If I don't find it interesting, I won't add it. But if it's interesting, I'll do it. Hey, hey.
Hi, all. Lisa's in the house.
Thank you. How was the supermarket? Fun?
It was.
I knew you'd like it.
Not too bad.
You gotta see it 3 in the morning. It's Walmart all over again. Never seen anything like it.
Oh. 3 in the morning by me, they're not even open.
Oh
They're
my
open, but
goodness!
there's nobody
You
in.
ain't never seen the stampede like it. I was just blown away. There were hundreds of people in there. I couldn't believe my eyes.
And it's a small place.
Uh huh. Lines outside.
Yes.
All right, Ken, you wanted Amazon. I'll keep you in mind. That's for Lisa. Your phone rang a couple of times, so I put it in airplane mode because I couldn't figure out how to silence it. You had to turn off airplane mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, just.
You know what, it probably was.
I left it right on the screen, so as soon as you light up the screen, just flip the airplane mode back to off. You need it in off position.
No worries.
You could give a shout out to Melissa, Ken. How you gonna do that?
Lisa Francis?
Yeah, actually, I haven't accepted an interview in so long. They stopped calling me because I stopped accepting them because I found it really boring. Do you work in the news media, Ken? Because if so, I don't believe your name's Ken anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Well, thank you about remembering the crude oil call. I've had a couple of interesting calls in the last year with crude as well. One up and one down. One up that didn't reach the target, and then one flip that went right to the target. Interestingly,
This is the White House talking, Oscar, I don't know if you care.
the White House.
It's Mnuchin and,
Yeah, turn them up. Sure. Mnuchin's gonna speak, everybody. Mnuchin. Mnuchin.
Ambassador in the near future. In terms of American official personnel, it's been an absolute top priority for President Trump, the Vice President, Secretary Pompeo, and myself. We have drawn down significantly personnel at the embassy. All dependent personnel are gone. We believe we are now prepared as we can be. We're reevaluating the safety conditions at all time, and it's why we have said we presented credentials to interim President Guaido. We recognize him as the legitimate president.
President Guido. Come on, say it correctly. He's from Brooklyn, right? His father bought him a Cadillac. Wears chains on his neck. He's a Guido.
Hold them responsible, and we take their commitment to do that very seriously.
What is your assessment of the relationship between Nicolas Maduro and his military? Do you believe support is fracturing? And do you believe that the Russians are playing any kind of
Oh, I was just gonna say, what? No Russian talk? And it came right out of his mouth. Come on, how do you ask a question and not speak about the Russians, reporter? You have to do that.
Is acutely aware of the desperate economic conditions in the country, and we think they look for ways to support the National Assembly government. We think the junior officer ranks and the mid-level officer ranks are the same, and we are also aware of significant contact between general officers of the Venezuelan military and supporters of the National Assembly. So you may have seen a statement last week by the defense minister, Vladimir Pedrino, flanked by a number of generals in uniform. What they didn't know was how many of them were already talking to the National Assembly.
Do we have a timeline when we're going to reassess
Take care, Justin. Oh, let me finish my thoughts here.
Speak to the administration's critics who say that since the government shut down, the administration is in disarray.
Well, let me first say that on sanctions, we always evaluate sanctions continuously, both existing sanctions as well as future sanctions. So we will carefully be looking at the effectiveness of these and whether we need additional sanctions. Now, I would just tell you, speaking for Treasury, I want to thank all the large number of government workers who came in. I will tell you, as it relates to specifically the sanctions area, people have been working around the clock, and we couldn't have gotten this done without the enormous support of all the people who came in. So, quite the contrary, we weren't in disarray. Again, I want to thank all the important people who helped out on this.
Very briefly, I'm going to have Larry Kudlow come up, do a quick economic update, take a couple questions on that, and then I'll be back up for the rest of the questions.
Thanks. I'll just say, as I have for a while, that I still think the economy is very strong. There's some disagreements.
I liked him ever since he used to say drill baby drill 15 years ago.
It's reopening. We're going to get a GDP report.
Whenever he would say that, I go, this guy is so right on. Drill baby drill, that'll get us out of trouble. He had good insight back then.
Based on things we've talked about here, unemployment claims low, industrial production strong, business investment strong, holiday sales very strong. I still think we're on a 3% trendline growth rate. I'm proud of that. I think that the program of lower tax rates and regulatory rollback and opening up energy and so forth is working and is continuing to work. And I think, frankly, the optimists, the guys who took the over, are going to be right.
Do you consider valid the estimates that the shutdown cost the U.S. economy between $8 billion and $11 billion?
You know, I looked at them. I think you're from the CBO numbers that came out today. We frequently disagree with CBO with all respect. They're doing the best job they can. I get that. No, I don't. I won't acknowledge any of that right now. And you know, in a $20 trillion economy, it's awfully hard to make even the best guesstimates of those kinds of small fractions of numbers. That's what you're looking at here. Let's see how it rolls out. We'll get a GDP report in about a week for Q4. It'll take longer for the first quarter. As I've said many times, I think you have just a whole bunch of very temporary factors. And now that the government is reopened, the switch goes right back on. There's certainly no permanent damage to the economy. So I just, again, with the greatest respect to my friends at CBO who often disagree with us and do not acknowledge the importance of our program tax cuts, just to put it editorially, no, I don't really agree. Sorry.
Can I follow up and say, from your economic perspective, how disruptive was this? Not at all.
Look, the hardships for individuals was always the key problem here, in my judgment. And as Steve Mnuchin said and others, you know, I'm glad we're back to work. I'm glad all the federal employees, I'm glad all the people furloughed, TSA, and go right down the line. I think those individual hardships were the biggest issue, and I think everybody's glad we can reopen and put folks back to work. Regarding the macroeconomy measure, I don't think it was a factor. I just don't.
So, Larry, if the negotiations did not bear fruit and the government shuts down again, a lengthy shutdown, reopening, and then another shutdown, could that compound any economic effect or hardship effect on these federal employees?
Yeah, I just don't want to speculate on what ifs. We've got a process laid out here. Let's see if that there's fruit. I just don't want to speculate on any of the what ifs. Again, the state of the economy, to me, my colleagues, Kevin Haston, so forth, looks very strong. And I don't think that was disruptive. I don't. I know things have been written in their individual hardship cases. Again, I'll repeat that. But in the aggregate, you know, the numbers we saw, low unemployment claims, unbelievably strong same-store retail sales, the industrial production number from the Federal Reserve, where business equipment went up for the 7th straight month. Just a scattered look at all those kinds of data points suggests to us that we're still in a very strong mode right now. And I usually, 3% is our longer-term view, but I also think it's going to pan out in the short run. So we will see. Yes.
The Chinese talks this week. Do you think we'll see the Frankfurt for a deal emerge?
I don't want to say
Go gold, huh?
About the talks. Liu He is coming with his top people, and that's very important, and our top people will be negotiating. But it's encouraging to me that everything is on the table. I know that's a cliche in other areas, but in trade talks it is too. Having said that, I do want to reiterate, I don't recall whose point it was, enforcement issues will be very important. And I know Ambassador Heiser said that, and the key part
All right,
is
so we bought gold at 1297 and a half. It's 1303.10. At least that worked well for us today. Read the flash, kids. Please react.
I'm not sure how some of them do. I think the defense related ones will.
New high Nasdaq cash.
Expert on that. I'd have to go and check that. I'd have to
Russell holding. S&P popping its head back up.
yes.
Very interesting.
The CDO because they also looked at projections over the next decade, in which they said the deficit for fiscal year 19 is going to be roughly $900 billion, starting in 2022, $1 trillion year after year after year after that. 2029, 93% debt to GDP, and they say it is simply unsustainable the path that we're on. But the White House,
Put it at 3.5, please.
and if it is unsustainable, it's
1303.5.
You know, we have a fundamental disagreement with that agency regarding the growth outlook. Economic growth is the single biggest factor in compiling any numbers. So they have had a very low growth estimate in response to Trump policies on taxes and deregulation, and we've had a much higher one.
Flash update, kids.
More or less, we're at 3, they're at 2, more or less. So the differential over 10 years is very significant. It could be as much as $3.5 trillion in deficit reduction if we are right. All I'm saying is that in the first 2 years of the Trump administration, our view has essentially been correct, and their pessimistic view has essentially not been correct. Now, again, I'm not here to rail on against CBO. They have a point of view. We have a different point of view. They're professionals, and I respect that. But that's the single biggest difference. Now, I would say one other matter. We anticipate a very strong, tough budget coming out to hold down spending. The President has talked about this. At least 5% reduction in the non-defense accounts across the board, and I think that's going to help. And then finally, my own view has always been economic growth is absolutely essential to
Come on, gold.
deficit share of GDP, which is the burden on the economy. And if you look at our numbers,
I would probably have us hold gold, but we need to roll over. We can't sit with this month anymore. Can you lower Cudlow a little bit?
of GDP, and that's probably another reason we disagree.
He's good. Cudlow's always been good. I'm glad he recovered from his heart attack. He looks okay now. Looked sort of gray for a few weeks, but he looks much better. Interesting. Let me go look at that. Is that GC? What's that? What's that? No. No, I was talking to Rika. Are you showing me gold right now, Rika? Wow. Looks a lot like the S&P, doesn't it?
Ending the forced transfer of technology, things like that. Look, we will export. I believe this strongly. The United States, give our people the chance to sell to China. We will export a ton. Our export sales will roar. And it'll be much greater if they open their markets. And that's going to help China's economy, and it's going to help our economy. I've always believed that. And, the question here is fairness and reciprocity, as the President has emphasized. I completely agree. But it's also a matter of economic growth. Lower barriers. The United States, my judgment, is the most competitive economy in the world today. We are the hottest economy and the most competitive economy. I think that Capital Survey just pushed us back to the #1 spot. I'm proud of that. So, with the China talks, what's at stake here?
Interesting, Rika. Thank you.
The possibility of spreading prosperity, frankly,
Thank you.
both countries, along with the need to make legal reforms and reciprocal reforms. We've got time for one more.
So where are we? We are at 404.
Is the president really willing to go through another shutdown if he can't get any more done with the Democrats for the border wall?
The president doesn't want to go through another shutdown. That's not the goal. The goal is border security and protecting of the American people. Ideally, Democrats would take these next 3 weeks to negotiate in good faith, as they indicated that they would, and come up with a deal that makes sense, that actually fixes the problem, so we don't have to go through that process.
Recently, one of the Republican corporate and others who say that a shutdown should be taken off the table. It's a law that basically says the shutdown can never be an option for people. Does the president support that?
But we're not going to get into the hypotheticals of taking it off the table. I haven't seen a piece of legislation for us to even consider at this point that would make that a reality. But what I do know is that the president is committed to fixing the problem. And it's pretty simple. We have 3 weeks to work with Democrats. As the president's indicated on a number of occasions, they could get this done in 15 minutes. We agree on the fundamentals that border security is important. We agree on the fact
Isn't it amazing life? All right, it's finally the day's over. Hooray! You get to go home. You take a break. You can eat, shower, pet the kids, pet the dogs, measure the kids, however you want to do that, because you haven't seen them in a while. You got to see how big they've gotten. And then you got to be back by 5. It's 4:05 now. Make sure you do all that stuff and be back to work in a little while. And if we were not, if we were not in February gold, I probably would have us hold this gold overnight, kids. I don't think we should stay in the Feb market. Some of your clearing firms won't be very happy with you staying long Feb overnight. So we'll have to roll into April at some point when the market sets up again. Take your profits in gold today. All right. Peace out. Hey, thank you so much for coming today. Appreciate you, Omniacs, especially the ones in my chat room. You new cats in the YouTube room, you'll get to know me eventually. You'll get to figure out my flavor. I'm always here. So I'll see you guys this afternoon for analysis. Now, how do we stop the stream? We go back here. Just learning, thinking aloud. We go back here. We say